Let's take a look at the RLX 450 by LowePro. One thing before I start this review, I did not get paid to review this backpack, and the reason why I got this backpack in the first place is because I reached out to LowePro to ask them to send it to me. Many of you asked me in the past, which backpack do I use for my professional work? What's the backpack if I had to choose one that I would take? And the one that always came to mind was the ProTactic BP 452 by LowePro, which is this guy right here. I have been using this backpack, you have no idea how many times on how many shoots. I bought it a couple years ago roughly, and that's 97% of the time the backpack that would come to me anywhere. I say 97% because the other 3% is testing or reviewing backpacks from other companies, but I would always go back to this. The reason why I use LowePro is simply because they know what they're doing. These backpacks are massively sturdy, they're very comfortable, and they can handle all the gear that I throw at them and still have a little space for a sandwich. So without further ado, let's tackle this review. The biggest advantage of this backpack is obviously the fact that it has wheels and that you can use it as well as a backpack. If I take this guy here and I put all my gear in it, it starts to become really, really heavy. Sometimes I do photography, sometimes I do video, sometimes I do both. But when I do, let's say, photography, for example, the other day I was in Italy and I took a lens with me, a Leica 90-280 f2.8. That lens alone is 2 kilos roughly. Then I had the SL2S with the 24-70mm f2.8, and that combo is another 2 kilos, so combined is 4 kilos. So that alone, without any laptop, any tablet, any accessory, any other lens, any battery, and so forth, was already 4 kilos. And when you have to carry that on your shoulders, it starts to be a little heavy. And that is why I like this backpack so much. A few details that I appreciate particularly is the fact that the handles up here are retractable. So when you pull, lift the backpack like so, and then you let go, it goes back in place. Same for the side one here, that basically doesn't dangle around like I had on this previous version here. You see it just moves around a bit and it's loose, which is not very aesthetic, but it's also not very comfortable and very practical, where in this stays very streamlined, especially if you're going to be taking an airplane or a train. It just stays as a simple package. There is a water opening on the side here, a pocket that you can open. So there's a zipper, and when you open it, you can put a lot of stuff. Now, if you look at it, it really allows you to put up to probably a liter and a half, a bigger bottle. The size is very deep, very big, so you can really just put any bottle pretty much on the side here. And it's, again, a cool thing because when you're traveling somewhere and you're pulling the trolley or the backpack, however you want to call it, it will not be too heavy, even if you have a lot of liquids. And that is, I think, very practical. And the fact that you can close it like so, and that it's just, neat, streamlined, and it's gonna stay like that, it's not gonna break when you're not using it for a bottle, is really cool. There's also a little pocket on the side here where you can put your passport, your document, your flight ticket, or whatever you're going to be using right here. Easy to access. Major point is the fact that it is stable and it's not going to tip over. You take this guy, you put it like so, doesn't move. Even if you push on it a bit, it stays stable. So I tried to put weight in the front to see if it tips over. Nothing happened. I put weight on the back, nothing happened. And the reason for that is that it has a very sturdy plastic handle. That's also a handle, by the way. So you can take it like so, and you can put it on top on an airplane. It's easy to grab from all the sides practically, and it makes it very, very easy to carry. If I take, for example, this guy here, and I put it like so, this is what's going to happen. Now, when it's full of gear, usually it holds pretty well. So now it's maybe not the best demonstration, but that shows you that this guy is not going to fall. There is a practical pouch that they give you with the backpack. When you look inside, there are separations. Those separations can be modified, like always with LowePro. There's Velcro, so you can put it however you want, horizontal, in the front, in the back, together, separate, remove them, add more. You can do whatever you want, and that allows you to separate all your chargers and all your different things that you're going to be using, be it cables, be it batteries, whatever you're going to throw at it, it's going to take it. And I think this makes it way more neat when you are traveling. It is partially see-through, so you can see a little bit what's inside, what different things you put inside without having to open it. On the inside of the backpack itself, there are lots of different compartments, spaces, areas. I like to divide these things however I want personally. For example, if I have a big lens, I would remove a couple of these, put it on, or even in the center. They added these little things here that help you, make the space more tight so you can put more things. It's organized properly. You can see how many you can put around here. You have your little pouch that I mentioned just before here. You can put a camera with the body and the lens right here. You could put another one here if you wanted to. So 2 cameras on the side. Up here you have a little pocket right here. You have another one here. This one is a little bit see-through like we saw on the pouch. I like that a lot on this backpack. Was really cool because you could see if you have a dongle, if you have a hard drive, if you have any type of thing that you might use, a filter or whatever, and you see it right away. And up here you can put 2 little SD cards, again see-through, so you can see the size and capacity of your SD cards. On the front here, there is again another little area where you can put your laptop. I used this for my MacBook Pro 16-inch from 2019, which is pretty big, pretty heavy. And here I put my iPad Air from 2022. So again, lots of space. And here another see-through, partially see-through area where I put my business cards and other things, and another pouch on the flap. Then there is a pocket also here. So this backpack really has a lot of different compartments and pockets, which is a common thing with LowePro. They put so much stuff everywhere that you can really carry everything with you without a problem. So if you look inside here, there is again a nice little pouch area for, it's padded, so you can put, for example, sunglasses without having them being scratched, and you can put hard drives or anything else. I mean, up to you. When I went to Portugal last time, I had to put my wireless microphones, and I put them right here. So it's great. There is a tripod holder, this here, which I also put on this other bag. I have it on the side. And right here, what I did is I put it in the front. So you can put it in the front, you can put it on this side, or you could put it on this side, up to you. If you put it on this side, you won't have access to this little handle. If you put it on this side, you won't have access to this little pouch here or to the water holder. And if you put it in the front, you won't have a full access to this pouch right here. But in terms of ergonomics on this bag specifically, I like to put it in the front. It's going to go right here. It's going to hold it with these little straps that you can move around, you can make, tighter and so forth. And that is great because when you're pulling your bag, it's not going to tilt on the side or add any stress anywhere on the bag, and it's just going to lay on it, which is actually pretty cool for your tripod. Last but not least, the zippers. One thing with LowePro is the quality of the zippers. These guys are huge. They're massive, and you can really feel that they're not going to break. I mean, I'm saying this because I had this one before and I've been using it, I'm telling you, hardcore for 2 years for anything, going in the forest, going to clients, going to other countries, taking the airplane, the train, walking, anything, you name it. It was really just the bag that I use for everything, and the zippers had no issue whatsoever. When you want to pull out the handle for the trolley, there's a little push button that you just pull up. There's 2 height levels. There's one first level like this, and if you leave it like this, there's another one that's shorter. And when you're done with it, you can just close with a little zipper the area on top here, so there's no water coming in, no dirt, no nothing, and it is also closed and protected for future use. The straps here, to open them, you have to open these little buttons, okay? And it goes like this. Okay, it opens, and you can pull these out from both sides, and you're ready to go. There's also a possibility to put this little waist thing here, like so. That will help you hold the lower back of your backpack, and that is really cool when you're doing longer distances or when you're walking around doing, a hike and so forth. I personally take this off when I use this backpack, and the reason for that is simply that I don't need to have the extra bulk, and I'm going to be mainly using it with just the regular straps for a little bit. When you want to put these back, you have to, make sure you fold everything properly like so it doesn't dingle around, and then you can close it. You see, it takes a little bit of getting used to it, and once it's closed, it is fine. Now this tends to go down a little bit as you're dragging it or pulling it behind you, and sometimes it goes on the wheels. So what I do is I pull this out a little bit like so, and that allows to keep it that way flush at the bottom so it doesn't go on the wheels. Another thing I noticed is While this guy here is basically the same size, the 4 is a 450. They're both 450, so in terms of size, it's the same. The dimensions of this backpack here is as like this thick all over the backpack, everywhere. That's the height of it, okay? Wherein this guy has a central column. And obviously that's the law of physics, because if you have something coming out here, you know, handle to pull it behind you, you will have a central column here. So you won't be able to fit lenses that are so big in the center. So that's not a big issue for most of us. Also because you could put a lens just laying down, or, you know, a body with a lens attached, or two bodies with two lenses attached. So you still have a lot of possibilities, don't get me wrong. But if you like to have a lot of lenses stacked up like so, the center part is not going to fit so well because it's a little bit raised because of the handle that you have in it. The weight is 4 kilograms compared to this ProTactic BP 452. That is 1.3 kilos more, for example. And maybe you think, yeah, that's a lot. It is something to consider. It is still 1.3 kilos that could be replaced by, you know, a camera body with a lens or any accessory that weighs that much. But you do have wheels here. So they don't really have a choice. If they want to put something that's built properly, that is sturdy, resistant, that will protect your gear, and that you can pull. I mean, the fact that you can pull removes a lot of that weight. You barely feel it. I mean, it's just a little bit on your arm here when you're dragging it. So to me, that's definitely not a drawback, and I'm happy. I would gladly take 1.3 kilos more to be able to bring all my gear with me. That sometimes, I mean, if you start thinking with laptops, tablets, lenses, and, you know, accessories, chargers, batteries, V-mounts, mat boxes, filters, handles, cages, and so forth, that's a lot of weight added. And sometimes I had a backpack that's close to 25 kilograms. So if I add 1.3, but I'm able to pull all that and drag it behind me instead of having it on my shoulders and lower back, then I would definitely take 4 kilos over 2.7. The opening of this backpack happens in the front, like you've seen. Go like this, and you open it. Now, when you do that, the part that touches the ground or the floor is this, as compared to this one that you put down on the front and you open from the back. What does that mean? Well, simply that this, which is a padded area, but it's made of fabric, is going to get dirty. If you're going, for example, in a dirt road, in the forest, or even if it's raining, if you're outdoor, anywhere in the city, you're going to be putting this on the ground, and this is the part that touches your back. So that's why I say this is not something I would take with me on a hike, for example. Also because there is no quick access to your camera gear. This one has 3 points, this one has none. So if you're going to take this and you want to take a photo all of a sudden because you saw a bird, it's just an example, but you saw something interesting, you won't be able to do this, open the quick access, pull out your camera, take a photo, put it back, and keep walking. That said, for security purposes, they did add a little hole here, which allows you to put a little locker through to avoid someone opening it, or you leaving it open by mistake and your gear falling down. So that is a cool security feature. Another thing that's included is a little rain pouch right here. This rain pouch is great because it's included. So in case it starts raining, you have it. But unless you put it, for example, here, which I would recommend, like so. So it's accessible if you know that it might rain that day, or you put it on, the side pocket or whatnot. But if you use this and you put it inside your backpack, once again, you'll have to put it down, open it, pull it out, close it, put it on your back. You know what I'm saying? So if it starts to rain, you'll have to put this part of the backpack down on the floor. So once again, I do believe this system is a bit more efficient, where you have a Velcro underneath and the pouch is included at the bottom of your backpack. So if it starts raining, you just lift, pull it on top, good to go. So who is this bag really for? I think this bag is for pros that want to have their gear protected, that don't want to sacrifice on, sturdiness, and that want to be able to pull their gear with them when they go anywhere, be it on a train, be it on an airplane, or just somewhere where they can actually pull their bag throughout the city. I went to Geneva the other day for the Salon of Photography, and I pulled it behind me, didn't feel anything, was very chill, very relaxing, and it looked good. Because if you're wearing something where you're dressed nicely, you put this on your bag, it's a bit too sporty, too, you know, outdoory, compared to this that looks a bit more like an actual suitcase, and you can pull, and in case you need to, you know, do some flights of stairs and so forth, either you take it like so, or you just put it on your back and you can go. So yeah, this is very versatile, but it is for pros, once again, that go on location, that will be pulling it most of the time, because you're adding 1.3 kilos and wheels. So why would you take this over this if you're going to be putting it on your back? And LowePro have a lot of bags, a lot of backpacks, and most of them are geared for people that go outdoor, for adventure people and so on. This is a particular backpack that they have. I think it's the only one that has wheels. I hope this review was comprehensive enough. If you have any question, like always, write it down in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I see you very soon. Take care. Cheers.